Hello, everybody. I'm Debbie of Inspired and Unextinguishable, and I want to talk about the joy of movement, the joy of dancing, of using our bodies in a flowing way and just moving. And everybody knows about the importance of exercise, and we all have our own things that we do to stay in motion and not always sitting. As a writer and as a painter, as an artist, I do these pastel drawings that I'm actually going to begin doing again, and I do acrylics. But a lot of that is very stationary. The writing I'm doing, the stories that I've been focusing on, which is really more like a book, it was just a lot of sitting. And so movement, like the previous video I did, which was about laughter, movement has always come very easily and naturally to me when I was a child. In a house filled with people who didn't do a lot of dancing, and I think we were a family that was often walking, and so that was great. There was a lot of knowing about the importance of walking. But I just, from the beginning of my childhood, I would be dancing around the house, and my family thought I was a little nuts, but I would just stop and just be moving and dancing in the living room, wherever I would be. I just start moving, and then later I studied belly dancing, which is a sacred dance. If anyone doesn't know that, it was actually if you think of it logically, and I have read, it was the first dance in the world because it was considered a sacred dance of fertility, of growth, of women's womb energy, and of birth and fecundity. And all those movements are very natural, the movements of belly dance. So from that, and I never danced, I never would put when you go, maybe your knowledge of belly dance is about going to a restaurant and just seeing this is going, okay. So going to a restaurant, Middle Eastern restaurant, and seeing a woman dancing and then putting money in her costume, and I would never allow people to do that. I did dance publicly, but I just was not into having the money put here, though I was paid. And so, but what I have grown from learning about those movements, and also just from dancing naturally, if you never take a belly dance class, I mean, all those movements of flowing the arms and flowing the body and the belly and the whole areas of all the body, and being aware of those waves of energy moving through us, that is just innate. That is natural. That's like the breath. The breath is rising and falling, and that's the living energy of the universe coming, rippling through us. So I wanted to share how I do that, how I just dance naturally. I can be listening to something and in the silence, wherever, however I do it, I move and I just flow my body. Just if you just think of waves of the ocean, you think of the waves of the wind. If you are tuning into your breath and just feeling how it's just in this very etheric way, just moving through you, and you're feeling the energy that you can't see, but it's so very, very present and so absolutely spiritually solid. Well, those are the ways that we can all move, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to get out of breath, you don't have to be jogging, you don't have to do some intense exercise at the gym, though those are also great. But just to keep the energy moving, That's what I do. And I like to imagine colors flowing through my body, because that's also something I recognize. Some people easily visualize, some don't, but I easily see colors. I see them in my body. They're like jewels, they're radiant, and then I just move. It's so simple. You know, the key to enjoying life to me is about feeling that we have the freedom. We don't need money. We don't need another person's validation. We don't need anything but our own living experience of being here in our bodies, and the wave. These waves, these divine waves are always in us. But like laughter, if we forget and if we don't tune into that and just recognize, oh, right now my body's stiff, and maybe I feel kind of dark inside, or I don't feel like I have freedom of movement or freedom of action. Well, it's like the laughter. Then that's not true. We have all these things. And then just using any time. I can use time when I'm just walking around the house, when I'm going to another room, or in my just daily life. I can do it when I'm walking. I can do it when I'm walking down a path in nature. I can also remember to move. I can feel my feet just breathing in that energy from the earth. I can breathe the energy just flowing down through the sky. And they're in the fingers. They're in every area of the body, just the shoulders, the belly, the solar plexus, the heart. Just breathing it in. You can imagine colors. You can imagine a scent you love. You can imagine roses flowing through you. You can imagine a tree. You can imagine you're a tree. Any part of nature that you particularly feel resonant with, you can imagine its movement in you. And its movement is going to have waves. I think even rocks have waves rippling through them, the waves of energy. And certainly there are waves in the air. There's waves. There's the energy in your blood, in your bones. It's all about just tuning into the light within us. And then we can feel, we can see, we can even hear this energy. So I hope you enjoy dancing the dance of your life.